And rather than me coming up and sharing what God said to me at that moment, now it doesn't come all the time. He told me it's something for me to share. And I said, I can't. I won't. And I did. I went home and I felt like the most miserable person in the world. Not just for that day, not just for that hour, not just for that week, but I felt like that for some time. The opportunity presented itself. I came up to the church. I was standing in the church getting ready to deliver the message. I delivered the message, and after the message, God said, I want you to share with them what I told you and how you were disobedient. So I came clean with the church, and I told our pastor. At that time, it was Pastor Lance Baker. Now it is Pastor Trent, and I told him, I said, I was very disobedient, and I ask you to forgive me for being disobedient because I didn't do what God said for me to do. And this is what God told me, and I said no. Now, during that time, I was walking around in a spirit of confusion. The whole reason that I'm here today, the whole reason I came today, when Epifanio or Epi told me to ask me if I could come, I came because I wanted to tell you something that God told me to tell you. Is that okay? Are you ready for that? God said, come back. That's what he told me. He said, come back. When he told me that, I said, God, come back from where? What are you talking about? He said, come back. Come out. Come out. I want you. I don't want your title. I don't want your education. I don't want your finances. I don't need any of that. Everything is mine anyway. He said, tell them to come back. If they're tired of living in confusion, they're tired of operating in the spirit of confusion in order to get their message across. See, because confusion brings about anger. Pastor Sam just said something about division. Division is prevalent. It is present because of the fact that we have left God. Our government, look at our government. Our government has said we don't need God. How good is it in America? How is the crime rate? How is the property going? I see there's a homeless ministry. How is that working out? Has it gotten better? No. Why? Because we've turned away. Our nation has said we don't need God. And I am afraid to say that there are some people that say, I don't need God. I only need God when I need him. The reason that some things are happening to us and sicknesses have invaded our families and invaded our homes is because we have turned away from God, the only God that can bring the solution and heal us and deliver us from those things. So God told me to come all the way over here, drive 3.5 hours just to tell you to come back to him. That's all you have to do is come back. And we don't want to make it difficult. We don't want to make it, we're going to show everybody's business. Everybody's dirty laundry's going to be out. It's not about that. This is a decision that is between you and God. How far have you wandered away from God? Tell me. How many churches are you going to be a part of before you finally sit yourself down somewhere and stop operating in a spirit of confusion? Confusion in Hebrew is a very, very interesting word. It means unstable. It means disquieted. It means discomforted. It means you're always in uproar. You always have something to say. How many of you got social media? Let me, come on, be real. Be real with me. I'm not going to dog you. I have social media. I'm not going to dog you. How many of you got social media? How many fights in one day do you see? You know why? They're operating in a spirit of confusion. It's easy to have an argument on social media. You know why? Because it's a cowardless effort. You don't see the person you're arguing with. God today wants you to return to him. However it may be, wherever you are, turn back to him. Not to me. Not to a leader, turn back to God. Today is the day that we come back to God. How many of y'all need to come back to God? I do, on a daily basis. You know why? Because I know what I can do. On a daily basis, that's why Paul says, I am crucified with Christ. And Jesus said, take up your cross daily, not once a week, daily. You know why? Because he knew our tendencies. He knew what we are I know some of us done thought we forgot how to sin because we're God's first cousin. That's not true. I didn't forget how to sin. The only reason I can control sin and overcome sin is because of the power through His Holy Spirit. Do I have a witness in this room today? Yes. If it's not for God, let's come back to God. I'm not going to keep you long. That's okay. That's all right. What's the main message? Come back to God. Why? As a nation, as a people, as God's people, churches confused, leaders are confused. We need to turn our hearts back to God and ask Him to forgive us because He's ready to accept us. I remember one time I was praying about an issue and I kept saying, God, you're able, God, you're able, God, you're able to do this. You're able because you're all powerful. You're able to heal. You're able to deliver. And God stopped me in the middle of my prayer. He said, don't quit saying I'm able. You start saying, I am able, but I am willing. Today, God is willing. Let me pray for you right quick. Lord, your people today, pray that God, we would turn back to you. Turn back to you wholeheartedly, with all of our mind, with all of our strength, with all that we are, that we would turn back to you. God, this is our lives. Our lives are yours. Our will is yours. Everything that's on the inside, we have recognized, God, that we have turned away from you. There's evidence everywhere. We can feel it. We have sleepless nights. We have moments of despair, but because there's confusion. But I'll turn my mind and I'll set my mind on you. I'll give you everything. In Jesus' mighty name. Well, God bless you, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Let me tell you that there's a lot of food now. I'm not hosting this thing, but there's a lot of food back there, right? And I don't know who put all that stuff together, but them ladies have been working pretty hard. Y'all better go eat some of that food, all right? So God bless you. Thank you once again. My name is Raul and my wife Marilyn, and we're just excited about being here. Epi's a little busy back there. He's gossiping. I think they're talking football or the Dallas Mavericks, or they're talking about something back there. But, you know, I divorced the Cowboys last season after the last loss. Anybody divorce the Cowboys? Oh, come on. Oklahoma ain't got a football team, so y'all ain't got no choice. God bless you. Thank you for indulging me with your presence. Thank you.
He says he's not a pastor, but he's always been a pastor to us. He helped our uncle many years ago. He was co-pastor, and we always called him pastor. He would always be pastor to us. Amen. But we have our next group coming. It's Power and Youth, and just give them a couple of minutes to set up. But how many have you guys enjoyed the word today? Amen. How many have y'all enjoyed the praise and worship? And I see my little cousin right here. I didn't recognize her when she first came, and it's just amazing to see her up here praise and worshiping. I remember when she was this little, she was Mija's age. As a matter of fact, when she was up there praising, worshiping, and of course we all grew and went our separate ways and stuff, but man, just to see you again, Mija, it's an amazing thing to see. And like I said earlier, you know, just let's continue to pray for our kids. You know, our kids are suffering right now, and they need a lot of prayer. And if we can just pray for them and plant that seed in their lives, no matter how distant they stray away, they'll always come back because that seed is always planted. And so I'm grateful and I'm honored that you guys are here. It's awesome to see each and every one of y'all just enjoying yourselves and fellowshipping. And so now they're going to take the mic away from me. But one more thing, there's still a lot of food, so just come and get some food. There's drinks, and God bless you.
Let me just say something. I know that no one has said this, but if there's anybody here that needs special prayer, please let someone know, step to the side. We got people here that will pray with you, that will help you out, and whatever. Anybody got a sick relative in their house? Yes, we all do. Anybody got issues in their family? Yes, we all do. As Emma said, our kids are under attack. You know what? I've gone home and said, the devil wore me out this week. Anybody? Yeah. He just wore me out. When is it time for the devil to go where he needs to go and says, man, those believers wore me out this week? This is the time. If you need some special prayer, we definitely want to pray with you. Us, and there's other people around here that were key leaders that will pray with you. All right, so we'll be here on the side, so y'all come forward if y'all need prayer. As the musicians set up and get everything ready, this is our moment of prayer. All right?
Amen. Like Rahul said, there is power in prayer. Amen. We're here today. Your relatives can be hundreds and thousands of miles away. God is anywhere and everywhere. So if you want to stand for your cousin, for your brother, for your sister, for your parents, whomever it may be, just come down this way and we'll be praying. Amen.
Yes, that's right.